Hey YouTube, what's going on? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today, and I hope everybody enjoys the holidays this holiday. Now, let's jump straight into it. So yes, as the title states, I am in $82,000 worth of bad debt. Now, before you think anything else, this is not a video about how I got out of debt. No, I am actually in $82,000 worth of bad debt, and this is the beginning of a series of YouTube uploads that I plan to put out of my journey on how I'm going to get out of debt in 2020. So if you stick around and follow the series, you're going to see everything I do to get out of debt by the end of 2020, hopefully. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. Now, what is bad debt? Bad debt, according to the www.debt.org, is any debt that's not increasing your net worth or that has a future value. So credit cards, student loans, those furniture stores that you purchase from, all of those are bad debt. Before I get into how that bad debt breaks down and what the interest rate is and how I plan to pay it all by the end of 2020, let's get into how everything started. See, for me, everything started when I came up from Jamaica and I was told that I had to go to college. Everybody said, JR, you have to go to college. You have to apply for financial aid on FAFSA. That's the only way you can pay for college. And so I did it. I went out, I applied for college, and I applied for financial aid. But the problem or the disconnect was that no one explained to me what financial aid was. No one gave me the education about what is unsubsidized versus subsidized loans and why you should try and avoid taking unsubsidized loans and little details like those. So when I went into college and I went to financial aid department and they covered my tuition, they said, hey, you're gonna get a refund for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. I was ecstatic. I mean, I'm a new college student, never had a dime to my name, and now you're telling me, hey, I'm gonna give you $7,000 in your bank account. No one told me, hey, go back and give them any amount that is unsubsidized, because the unsubsidized loans start to accrue interest the day they give them to you. So if I were told that in the beginning, I know myself, I would have given them back the money. However, that's to stray away from the point. The point is, I wasn't educated on that. So I went ahead and I took all the money, and then someone told me in my first semester of the junior year, hey, JR, have you been giving back your unsubsidized loans? I said, no, why? Why should I give back my unsubsidized loan? I mean, it's just money I'll pay back to them when I come out of college. And they looked at me and they said, no, you're accruing interest the day you take that loan out from them. So for me, I believe that was the start of my journey into debt. Now, I didn't go out and squander the money. I was never the person to go out and buy shoes and buy the latest clothes or any brand name items. For me, I always wanted to have some kind of security, so I spread that money out throughout each semester. And in the second year, I had that money spread out for my rent. I tried to make sure that I had at least 6 months of rent covered and all of that. I didn't go and do anything stupid with the money. However, what I do wish is that someone had told me, hey, JR, give them back all the money and just go out and find a job and just work your butt off and pay for school. Because in the long run, the pain of taking that money is going to be much more worse than the pain it is going to be to work and go to school at the same time. Now, also while I was in college, I got a credit card and I was always careful with my credit card. I never had a overdue balance. I never had a balance that carried over, I should say. I always paid it off every month. But, after college, everything kind of changed. You see, while applying for student loans and applying for college, I was also being told, don't worry, once you get your job out of college, you're going to be able to pay your student loans back. However, I graduated in 2010, and if any of you guys remember, that was 2 years after the big market collapse. So there was a scarce amount of jobs out there for people who were in the business field. And for me, I studied business economics, and the business school had, in my year, probably 1,000 plus students or more that were in business school, and only 50 people were studying business economics. So when I got out and I started applying to jobs, it was difficult. I had a very difficult time. So I had to basically settle for what I could get. And so, that being the case, I needed some way to help me pay for food. I lived on my own. I had to pay for rent. So I resorted to the credit card, and therefore started to dig myself deeper and deeper into debt. And then, we fast forward a couple years down the line, I meet the woman of my dreams, and, we have a child now. And right there, we put a few things on a credit card with the intention of paying it off once we have the money. However, as many people with families understand, stuff happens. Kids have to go to the doctor. And then now we have child number 2. And then child number 3. So everything kind of starts to build up. See, that's just the gist of the story. Now, it gets more complicated than that, but over time, you really think that you have it under control. I really thought I had my debt under control. I always told myself, ever since graduation in 2010, I know what I'm doing, I got it under control, everything is fine, I'm going to pay back all the money. And it's 9.5 years later, and I'm $82,000 in debt. And this pivots me into the next piece of the video, which is the 6 steps that I have found that I needed to take in order to take this journey. And so the first step is that I had to admit that I was in debt. I had to come to terms with the fact that I didn't have it under control, and I am actually $82,000 in debt. Now, once I admitted that I was in debt, I had to go out and gather all the numbers, find out everywhere I have a bad debt, and get everything together. And the third step is to get a total for all that you owe. And once you have that third step now, you can go to step 4. And for step 4, I had to set a hard deadline for when I wanted to finish paying off that debt. And that hard deadline for me was a 1-year time span from January 2020. And then once I had that 1-year time span, I needed to now pick a payment plan. And for me, I wanted to pick the avalanche method. And there are many other methods out there, but 2 of the top methods that are used are the avalanche and the snowball method. Me personally, I picked the avalanche method just because I know I'm going to have you guys as the individuals holding me accountable, but also because it does save on interest. And then step number 6 is the most important of all. You have to grind, hustle, save, and invest. Now, some of you are probably like, yo, Dennis, what do you mean invest? You can't invest until you pay off all your debt. But that's the thing. You're investing in yourself. See, every dollar I pay off, that's an investment in myself. And then that same acronym, GHSI, carries over to when you get out of debt. And so that's step number 6. Grind, hustle, save, and invest in yourself. So now that we got through all the dry, boring stuff, let's get down to the numbers. My first bad debt is my student loan. For my student loan, I have it through Nelnet. It was basically transferred from the government to Mohila and then to Nelnet. And so now within Nelnet, I have 12 different loan groups. And those 12 loan groups all have an average interest of about 5.89%. And currently, the total Nelnet balance that I have is 45,600 and change. That's student loans. Next, there are 3 credit cards, and the total for all 3 credit cards adds up to about $35,000 or $34,000 with an average interest rate of 11.2% or 11.32%, something like that. Then I have a furniture store with a no interest until 2023. So that payment or that total balance is 1,800 and change. And that all brings my total bad debt balance to roughly 82,300 and change. Now, some of you might be thinking, wow, $82,000 in debt? Man, he's going to have to change his whole life to pay that off in 1 year. He's going to have to stop doing everything. No, I am not changing anything drastically in my life. Yes, I'm going to make a few adjustments here and there, but I'm not going to cancel Christmas. I'm not going to tell the kids that they can't have a birthday or they won't get gifts on their birthday. My wife and I are still going to get our monthly pocket money, the same amount that we've been taking out for the past year and a half, 2 years. Nothing is going to be changing drastically. I'm still going out on dates with my wife. See, what I'm going to, however, do is instead of going to paid events to have fun with my family, I'm going to go on the local state website and look for local free things to do. Instead of going on a vacation and paying for hotel and airfare, well, we can probably just take a vacation and spend the time with family in wherever we go to. All we have to cover is airfare and food. However, there is a catch. Now, before I tell you what a catch is, let me explain to you first how I plan to pay back all of this in 1 year. See, this goes back to step 4. I had to set a hard deadline. My hard deadline was 1 year. So in 12 months, I had to clear out $82,361. If I want a rough estimate of how much I have to pay if there was no interest every month, I would divide that 82,000 and change by 12 months. That would give me a rough estimate of 6,800 and change. So what I decided to use was I found out about the vertex42.com debt reduction calculator. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to plug in all your accounts, all the minimum payments, all the balance and the interest rate, and then it gives you a total of how much minimum payment you have to pay each month. And once you have that minimum payment, you now put in the monthly payment section what is the amount you wish to pay towards your debt every month. So for me, that monthly payment that I can dedicate, I started off by putting the $6,800 in there. Remember our rough estimate. I put the $6,800 in there, and what I got was that if I paid $6,800 every month for the next year, my debt would be paid off by January of 2021. And I'm good with that. So my estimates worked. Now, this brings me back to what the catch is. See, the catch is that I don't have $6,800 to pay towards my debt every month. And that's where the series begins. See, I now have to find out how to make up all the extra money I need. Of the $6,800, I can only pay $3,500 guaranteed every month. So that leaves me with $3,300 that I have to find every month. And that's where the series begins. Because throughout this entire series, you're going to see what it was that I did week by week to make up that other $3,300. And at this point, I have a basic plan. I have a basic idea. And I'm going to share that basic idea on January 3rd. That's going to be the first video of my debt journey and how I'm going to begin it. But the reality is that I have 1 year. Anything can happen in 1 year. I could go into surgery in 1 year. I could have any random expense come up in 1 year. So, for all I know, I don't know what will come up, but my goal is 1 year. So, why did I decide to come to YouTube as my journey? Well, for me, I know myself. I'm the type of person where I need a gym partner. Or if I decided to go and start eating healthy, I need a partner to eat healthy with. I need a support group. And I don't think I'm the only person that feels that way. However, I feel deep inside me that there are many other people out there that have the same thought process as I do. And they might want a support group, or they might need, a partner to go on this journey with them, because they've probably tried to get out of debt already and it failed because they might have told themselves, I don't know how to pay it off. I want to pay it off, but I don't have enough time, or I don't know what to do. I don't have any ideas. All I know is that all I know how to do is go to work. After work, what else can I do to pay off the money? I probably don't earn enough money. And that's where I come in. See, my journey is all about helping others and inspiring others to come along with me. If you know you're in debt and you want to get out of debt, come along with me, join me, and watch as I go week by week and try to find ways to supplement my income to pay off my debt every month. Remember, I need to make $3,300 every month in order to pay off my debt on time by January 2021. So that's why I've decided to come to YouTube. I want to help as many people out there. I want to inspire as many people out there to get rid of those chains of debt slavery. I want to inspire people to run to the cockpit mountains or go into the Underground Railroad and get out of debt. Run as far to the north as possible and get out of debt. And that's why I want to do my journey on YouTube. It's to inspire anybody out there that wants to join me. Now, if you felt like my journey is one that's going to help others, hit the like button, please. Let me know that this is something that you find interesting. If this is also something that you want to join in on, again, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, the notification bell, so that every time I post a weekly update on Friday, you can see it. And also, if you want to follow some of my day-to-day activities, follow me on Instagram at DennisWoodbineOfficial, listed below right here. Thanks again for watching the video, and look out for the beginning of the journey on January 3rd, which is the first video where I will go more in depth on what I plan to do to start my journey off.